Right now it is time to continue a series that we're running all this week to get ready for Thanksgiving. We call it our Sunrise Viewers Thanksgiving Recipes series. So we have 5 viewers sharing 5 recipes over the course of 5 mornings. And this morning, the series takes us to Wilsonville, home to a Sunrise viewer by the name of Kyle. Did Kyle answer his door? Yes, he did. Thank goodness. Would have been a short segment if he didn't. Kyle is covering the vegetable portion of our Thanksgiving feast this week with his cheesy Brussels Sprouts Casserole. And this is why we came to Wilsonville. This is viewer Kyle's cheesy Brussels Sprout Casserole. We have the casserole, we have the viewer. So Kyle, you were explaining to me that everything we need for this recipe is right here in front of us. I'll let you run through the ingredients.
Yeah, one thing that I like about this recipe, it is very simple. So we start out with obviously the Brussels sprouts, a couple of shallots that are diced up, a little bit of butter that we'll cook those in, and then it gets really healthy here. We have the heavy cream, some sharp white cheddar, some Gruyere, and then we top it off with some bacon.
So we know what's in it. Now it comes down to how to make it. Where do we start, Kyle?
Yeah, so the most important thing at the beginning step of this is not too hot, just medium temperature on the stovetop. We're gonna cook the Brussels sprouts and the shallots up in the 3 tablespoons of butter and just get them tender before we put them in the oven. We'll season them up a little bit with some salt and cayenne pepper.
So I've never actually fried up Brussels sprouts myself. Well, okay, I've never made Brussels sprouts in any way, shape, or form. Yeah. But you were saying, Kyle, that there is sort of a visual cue to let you know when they're ready.
Yeah, so we cook these up for about 10 minutes. As they get to the point where they're done, they turn this really bright green. When they're raw, they're very dull colored, but you can see as they get to this bright green, that's about time to turn it off and get ready for the next step.
These Brussels sprouts are ready to go into this pan. What happens after you get them in here?
Yep, so we're gonna dump this in there and then make them very healthy. So we'll dump the heavy cream over the top, get the bacon bits that we've already cooked on top, and then sprinkle the cheese and throw it in the oven, 12 to 15 minutes, and we're ready to go.
Kyle, do you mind if I had the honors of putting this in the oven?
Of course,
All
here
right.
we go.
Open the door. How long does it go in there for?
About 12 to 15 minutes. As soon as the cheese is bubbling, we're good to take it out.
Looking for bubbling cheese. In the oven it went, out of the oven it comes. Kyle, grab the biggest spoon you've got. Viewer Kyle's cheesy Brussels sprout casserole. This is going to be good.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I feel like there's a lot to cover with this segment. Number 1, Kyle is coming into the studio next hour with that very cheesy Brussels sprouts casserole.
Yes.
So we'll talk more about it then. Can we just get to some language issues?
Language?
Yes. So you call it, the traditional Thanksgiving favorite is green bean casserole, right?
Yeah.
Like one bean, although there's many beans in there. But you say green bean casserole.
Oh, yeah, okay.
With this, I felt like it should have been sprouts with an S. Brussels sprouts casserole. What do you think?
Brussel Sprout Casserole.
No
is
no
what
S.
I would say. No,
I would say something similar because you've got multiple beans, right? Normally, so then you still say green beans. So why you have multiple Brussels sprouts, but you say Brussels sprout.
What did Kyle
I don't
call
know.
it?
That's a great question. I confused myself because I called it sprout with no S, but on the screen I said we should put an S, sprouts.
I defer to the chef.
Yeah,
Kyle
Here
would
to settle this.
All right.
clear this up.
Oh, I forgot this part. If you go to my KGW Sunrise Facebook page or my Instagram page, you will find the complete recipe spelled out in great detail. All right, Christine, from that we move to this. A week-long series we're doing here on the Sunrise Show. It is our Thanksgiving viewer recipe series. 5 viewers, 5 recipes over the course of 5 mornings, and this is a look inside the kitchen of our latest viewer. This is Kyle, inside his Wilsonville home. So last hour we took you to the kitchen with Kyle. He walked us through the process of making his cheesy Brussels sprouts casserole. That's a look at the casserole in the making. This is a look at Kyle in our studio this morning. The music abruptly stops because it's time for Kyle to talk. What is all that? I think that was I honestly think, Christine, that may have been your hair.
Actually, I don't think it was.
What was that?
It doesn't.
Wait, don't move. I don't know if it's that. It might be. No, we usually do this during the commercial break.
There we go.
All right, you know what? Actually, it'll be quicker if you just take off all your clothes real quick.
That would get the viewer ratings up.
I notice you're all on the sidelines watching this fiasco. Get your butts over here. Let's do some eating.
Well, Rod, I told my wife the same thing when I met her, so.
Oh, yeah. So don't judge us by the way we look. Come on.
I'm still hearing that noise. Director Brian, why do you think it's doing that?
Whose microphone is that?
Is it him?
We think it's this
me.
microphone.
Okay.
I'm feeling guilty.
We'll move forward. Okay, so here's the deal. This is the cheesy Brussels sprouts casserole. Kyle, I'm going to ask that you dish this out. We have bowls for Brenda and Christine and Rod, and I notice there's a fourth one. Maybe that's for me. While you're doing that, we can take people back to your kitchen area. So this was, I found to be a very simple recipe. I was telling people that from the time you started the process, although you actually had the Brussels sprouts already cut before we got there, but from that point on, it probably took us about 30 minutes from the preparation to out of the oven. How long have you been making this, Kyle? And is this always a staple on your Thanksgiving table?
Yeah, I started making this when I was in college, I think, as I came home from the University of Portland. Go Pilots, Brenda.
Hey, you, buddy.
This guy knows how to warm up to the new
Buried the lead.
But it just depends on whose house we're at, if they allow me or not. But it has become a staple. It is easy, and even people who don't like Brussels sprouts do really like it because of all the other fun, healthy things that go on top.
We took a quick survey amongst the team here before you came into the studio. We found out that Rod and Christine and Brent and myself all like the Brussels sprouts. You'll like them any way, shape, or form? How do you like them this way? Please tell me with your mouth full of them right now.
I'm so happy.
By the way, I was watching last hour, Drew, and I'm going to go without the S, Brussels Sprout Casserole.
There you
just
go.
like
Bring it in. Okay.
I am so confused by that. Yeah, I was saying sprout in your house, but then this morning I found myself saying sprouts. You're not making it with one sprout, though. For goodness sakes, there's a bunch in there.
There is.
Christine, your take as you continue to down Kyle's recipe.
Oh my gosh, so good. The bacon, the cheese, the Gruyere. Oh man, this is my jam.
Everything
My
comes together
jam.
nicely.
What type of cheese?
There's two types, so Gruyere and sharp white cheddar.
I can taste it.
One more thing I want to point out.
Amazing.
We've been doing this recipe series back to 2016. When you're done with this, by the way, I'm going to take that microphone, I'm going to throw it in the trash. That could be mine. Brian, Director Brian, okay.
Too busy
Sorry.
eating.
Go to my Facebook page if you want this whole recipe. Kyle is the only person participating in this week's segments who has been on the show before doing a recipe segment. Now, I don't know if our producer, Cassie Taylor, could get the picture in quick enough because I literally sent it to her about 4 minutes ago. Brian Matthews, our director, do you have another picture there in your file? There it is.
There we go.
How cute is
We
that?
think this is the year 2018?
Yes.
Is that about right?
I think that's about right.
You have 3 daughters. That's the oldest. What's her name?
This is Miriam. She was 4 at the time. She's now 8.
Any chance that Miriam's watching right now?
Most likely she is, yes.
Hey, Miriam.
She watches every morning.
Your dad is a TV star. High
Yeah.
five.
All right.
Kyle. Great job with the Brussels
Ruth, I have a
sprouts.
question.
Yes.
I really like this. The Brussels sprouts aren't overly cooked, so that's a timing thing? Because I like that they're still a little...
It really is, yeah, and a temperature thing. Don't overcook them on the stove beforehand, and then you toss them in, they're perfectly cooked.
Oh, it's really good.
Portland pilots
Really,
are
really
the
good.
best.
That's
aren't they?
right.
Yeah.